jerky I keep smelling?
Yep.
The beef
forgot.
jerky.
As a snack to make it through the night.
Lucky to see your rations are gone. Are you eating the bag?
I mean,
Your rations.
technically, we should be on episode 2 right now, so...
Hey, all I hear is a lot of anger and hate, but when we've been trying to fix stuff.
That's right. We've been
You weren't
having fun,
helping.
hanging out.
Maybe I should have helped, because, I probably would have been better than you two at it.
So much anger over there.
It's his job. You see that fire?
Just give him a quick little.
Don't.
That'll put him right in his place. Oh my! It's like an Achilles heel. Just do boop. Listen here, buddy. The two-finger
That's
jab,
even
right?
making me cringe. Oh, that would hurt so bad.
Got him.
It's like the old sneakers that you'd pump up. The pump up.
Doesn't make his shoulders get all broad and like.
See how high you can
guys
jump
won't go?
now.
Well, welcome back to Five's a Crowd. Hey, and if you're new here, guess what? You just made 5 new amazing best friends.
Yeah, you did.
And you're welcome. So let me introduce the crowd. We got Cam, Chris.
Hello.
I'm your host tonight, Austin, and Tony and
Hello.
Zach.
Hola.
And
boy.
tonight we're kind of doing just off the rails in the news. What's going on in our lives? This is going to be a more traditional thing. I think we're going to do it like every other week because it's fun to just talk about what's relevant, what's in the news. Also just banter and go off the rails and not really have any real itinerary.
Bomblet.
Vomlet.
The
yeah,
vomlet,
we'll call
dude.
it the vomlet.
The vomlet. It's your best wake up,
Yeah. So I'm assuming you left in the poking joke. Our friend Zach here in the
Dang
news
straight.
just got an Iron Man hole in his chest.
I did.
Tell us about that.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
He got a port.
Doctors got tired of poking me like 5 or 6 times.
That's personal.
Yeah, yeah, right. I wanted to.
Did they at least use some lube?
Nope.
Oh, that's
Protection?
rough.
Spit on it first.
Yeah, apparently my veins are difficult. So
Do they roll around or what's the
yeah,
deal?
they roll. A lot of times they actually get the vein, but then no blood comes.
Are you
Yeah.
alive?
He's a
Is your heart
vampire.
pumping?
Something weird's going on.
It's like when you get a steak and you get that chewy part. That's your veins.
So
Ugh.
yeah, so they
You're welcome. All of you
That's
are welcome.
true. They actually did tell me that my veins are
Chewy?
not
Well
chewy,
done.
but yeah, like almost like a
Gristle.
yeah, almost like a steak or whatever. Like there's just
They're tough.
Man,
yeah,
I'm
they're tough.
hungry.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sorry, it's 11 o'clock
Hey.
at night and I'm a little tired.
Hey, okay, all right.
Bro,
all right.
it could be
Just so
9
you
o'clock
guys
and you'd
know
still be
why
tired.
everyone's so angry, Cam got a new laptop.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, but we ran into technical difficulties. We still can't get it to work, so we don't have all 3 angles rolling.
Right.
Plus our picture-in-picture. Anyway, we'll get
figure
it going.
out.
Will we?
Give it 2 weeks time. We'll figure
Yes,
it out.
we will.
Will you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we could really use your help. Would you mind coming over tomorrow? You want to troubleshoot it tomorrow? Let us know when you're available.
Yeah.
I'll come over
Shots
tomorrow.
fired. Shots fired.
In between helping Chris with the table, if it's not too much.
You want me to come over tomorrow? Come over tomorrow.
I have to work. I have to work tomorrow.
Wow.
So anyway, this port.
That was harsh. That was harsh.
The
Hey,
truth.
he's got, in all honesty, you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
we're
I
just
do.
giving you a
Thank
hard time.
you.
As he's sitting here trying to tell us about a port because of his cancer. Like,
Yeah.
Hey now, we're just throwing back the shade being thrown at us.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
all.
Yeah, we're just deflecting. And we're pretty good at it.
So, did they have to go there with your port?
Like,
What do
did
you
the
mean?
Right there in your chest.
Well, it's on like the
it's
side.
right here.
they had to go there though.
That's literally where
Is
it
it
goes.
in like a main?
No, they threw a dart at him. Just saw where it ended up.
Yeah, that's
No, that's
They had to
literally
scan
where it
his
goes.
ginger body, find the best spot, and that's where it
port's
happened.
here.
for
They did an incision on my neck.
to put it
So
in.
the port places there, and then they actually have a tube that goes in and hooks into a vein in my neck.
Okay.
And
So it's like the big
it's
old
like one of the
main-
main arteries that go right
It
to
is
the
your
jugular.
heart.
Is it in the
Yeah.
jugular?
It might be.
Dude, that's terrifying.
That's
Yeah.
the one everyone
might-
knows about.
It might be. Yeah, it's literally in one of the main veins that go right to my heart.
Is it? your jugular's in your neck, though.
That's
Yeah,
not,
it's in his neck.
It's in his
it's in your neck.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in
The
my
thing's under here.
Can you
It's on
not-
the neck.
the
Can you
tube
not
goes
see that
all the way
tube
up
that
his
goes up
neck.
my neck?
So my
I
question.
don't see a tube.
Oh,
Oh, it's underneath your skin.
Yeah.
My question.
I think it was gonna
my
stick it out like
questioning
Bane.
with that is where would they stick you when
Right
they're trying
now.
to do the treatments before?
Arms.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty intrusive. Why they
I
went?
know.
there?
Why wouldn't
You
they just
wouldn't-
put it right here?
You
Well,
wouldn't want
that
you
would
wouldn't
be
want it on
awkward.
the arm.
No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I get
I
like.
would. Give me a predator sleeve, bro. You know?
But why would you want it on your? I don't know. Anyways, that's where I was
This,
at.
this is literally the most. This is like the most common place that they would put.
I think it's
Yeah.
it's more so that it doesn't move around as much.
Yeah.
Like you're
Okay.
not, moving
know what
it around.
else?
But
It
it's
doesn't
also
move
in a
as much.
spot that's you can remember it. Because I feel like if you were to throw it like on your back or somewhere, you're gonna forget about it and like snag it.
like there's
something.
Yeah,
It'd
And
be
think
like a
about
cat
how-
with tape on their head.
like when you're doing most things, you rarely have something touching here.
right. But I mean, like
Like even if you're carrying,
they're
stuff
going in
or
like
whatever.
a main artery or vein.
You could have
Whatever
gone
it
on
is
the
on that
inside of the thigh, maybe.
Yeah.
Did they
You know-
give you options, or did they?
I
just
know, I
say
would've been
We
this
like,
have
is
a
where
lot
to
of
go?
questions.
Can I
about
get a
this
menu?
point.
Can I get a menu, please?
This is just it's literally here, and if this doesn't work out, they come over to the
Right.
left side.
So
This is like the most common place. They don't give you any other options.
so the spot itself is
Well, that's
what's
why
under
it's
the
the
gauze,
most common
right?
place because they don't give you other options.
That is under my skin.
So what
The only
is
reason I
it?
have
Is it
the
like
gauze
it's basically
there.
like a dock kind of thing, and they're sticking a.
It's pretty much like a doctor.
It's an
Yeah.
O-
It's like it's like
RCA
a
port.
permanent IV.
So it's not a needle they're putting in there. It's
Oh
like-
no, so when I get the stuff, the normal needles, they'll just jab it right into that spot.
So the whole thing. I know. Wait, the whole thing is under your skin.
The whole thing is under my skin.
Oh, that makes more sense.
That's what I mean.
See, that's what I was asking.
For
You
some
thought
reason, I
was
thought
stupid.
no. For some reason, I thought there was like a port, like an entry port
Yeah.
I thought
sticking
so
out of the
too.
skin.
The whole
And then
thing
they
is
just
tube
hook
was
up
up.
like an
Like
IV
an aux
almost.
port.
No, the whole
Knox
thing is
port.
under my
Yeah.
skin, and then
Yeah.
they'll just get the needles like normal, just like they would hooking into your veins on your arm. They'll just poke it right into there, and it's just a direct.
Dude, if anyone
It's just
misses
a
that,
direct
you
hook
do
in.
not let them
So
live
it's
it
like
down.
it's
Right?
an artificial vein now that won't
Yeah.
collapse or give any
They
issues.
cannot miss it. Literally, they just poke right in, and it.
want
straight
you-
in.
You know what
Before
else it's
you're-
really good for? Heroin.
It's actually
Throw
funny.
anything you want
So-
to throw in there.
The doctor, before he puts it in, we have our little thing in the room, and he's like talking to me about all what can go wrong, possibly, all the talk and
I
everything.
don't like this talk.
I was
And-
gonna say my palms are sore.
He looks at me and he
Needles,
goes,
man.
"Now I have to tell you this. If anybody comes up to you and tries to stick you in that port that is not an actual doctor, do not let them do it." And I was like, "Really?"
Thanks,
and,
Doc.
And he was just like, "They need to look like me with like a thing on, like all this stuff." And he's
So
like,
if I
I
come
want to
out-
know
It's
this.
like we got a white
I-
lab coat in the closet right here.
I wanted to ask him why he had to say
I wanna
that,
know
but
the
I
story
didn't-
behind
I
that.
didn't get a chance to, but I'm honestly wondering if people get these and then think that they can just literally do drugs, right? It just use it as a main.
I like to
I
party.
mean, there's the like OSHA books and stuff are written because of certain people. So I mean, the doc has to tell you that because of something.
I think just to help them before your next appointment, you should just take a red marker, make a little target right on there,
Right
Just a little arrow.
No, you should do it like the Coyote and the Roadrunner and have like a bunch of arrows and stuff. Like
Different sizes and shapes and colors.
Make it an optical illusion.
this hole.
Oh man.
Also, I'm quickly noticing we're all pretty hopped up. I think all of us have had at least one energy drink, so we're definitely animated and talking
man.
over each
I think
other.
Chris is on his second.
I'm on 1.5. I'm
it's
fighting back tonight, baby.
it's my bedtime right now. I know Zach's bedtime was an hour and a half ago, so that's why I'm loopy. But
Yeah, baby.
So all that to say, this podcast
It's a
podcast might run a little short.
Because we still got to film one more tonight. So
so with that, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
in another news, I can also share what happened by my house.
Oh, I was thinking you would go a little bit happier. Something a little closer to home.
What?
Closer than that. Oh no, not that.
I know.
Did something
It's got
man's
4
best
legs.
Oh, we got a new puppy.
Oh yeah,
As if you didn't have enough going
I
on
don't know
in
if
your life.
I don't know if I dare talk about a new dog because the last podcast we had, you all guys dissed on having dogs.
Dude, I love dogs.
I didn't diss it at all.
Hold on.
You said that you
fantastic.
guys would never get a dog again.
What is
What are you
that
talking about?
dissing?
I did not say ever again. I said I'm not in that season of life right now.
I'm just saying.
That's not saying ever.
Y'all-
I feel
again.
like
Dude, I love
your
dogs.
your definition of like opinions and just kind of like I kind of just feel this way is just black or white. It's like me saying like, oh, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was great. It wasn't my favorite animated
Meaning
movie.
you hated it.
Exactly.
if you don't love it, you
It's
hate
like,
it.
It's like I love dogs, but I
Sounds
don't know if I
familiar.
want to own one. Oh, that means you want to kill all the dogs? It's like, whoa.
That right there is woman logic.
You called me a woman.
See?
Well, if the shoe fits.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh man.
His port's gonna pop out. Stop it.
My port's popping. That's
See? Another attribute of
No, I'm just giving you guys a hard time. Yes, we got a new dog, new boxer. His name is Loki.
Loki
Yes,
to
so
compliment
now-
his.
To compliment his brother, who is Thor.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be a trickster?
I hope.
He already kind of is. He's a little bit mischievous, so he's living up to his name already.
That's what I was gonna say. I hope you're not willing something into existence naming him that.
God,
Oh, definitely 100%.
I think we
Yep,
might. I think
already
we
happened.
honestly might have. So
a little mischievous.
Gonna buy him a little green cloak for Halloween.
Oh my
don't
gosh!
say that.
Yeah,
Kara,
dude,
Kara's now
yeah.
gonna go do that.
You gotta get them capes.
green and red is Thor's red, right?
Yeah.
His like,
red
you
is
gotta
like
do the
blue.
green
He's
and
like,
red.
yeah, he's like silver and red and black.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta get them the little costumes where like it literally gives them hands and arms in the front. You know what I'm talking
Where
about?
the front of them it looks like a person.
So when they're running, it looks like Thor and
The
Loki.
horns.
I'm
The
doing
horns
that.
are the best.
Yeah, the horns.
I'm doing that for my chickens.
What?
Have you ever seen it?
That's
You
awesome.
get the arms for the chickens because they're wings and they run around.
Yeah,
That's all.
those, dude, you can 3D
That's
print
awesome.
those.
I know. I saw that.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was gonna say I got 6 new chickens,
You
but
should
nobody
do
gives a
that.
shit about
I
chickens.
love chickens. They taste
Dude,
delicious.
You get
I
eggs out
want
of
chickens, man.
Yeah,
But I don't want to take care of chickens.
If you had enough
they're
chickens,
easier than dogs.
if you had enough chickens and you dress them all up like Spartans and then call for them and watch them all run at you
Fight.
like Spartans, that would be funny.
Oh, I'm making a video.
Let's do it.
Goodness.
I will say this about having a new dog. When my girls found out that we got the dog, they all started bawling because they were so happy.
Oh, that's cool.
So I mean that was kind of cool.
What?
I
Because
mean,
they hated the other one?
No, they've just been wanting a puppy for a while now, and with everything that's been going on with me, money wise, bills, everything, like we just couldn't afford one. And my parents actually showed up with my brother, and
Did you know?
no,
Oh,
no, my
that's
parents
a
and my
bold
brother,
move.
parents and brother showed
That's
up and
good.
said we got you guys a dog, and I was like, whoa.
That's cool.
So
They were talking
once-
to Kara.
Back when
no, Kara didn't even know.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude,
they
honestly,
they had asked us.
I would hate that.
That's a bold
Right?
move.
I would
Especially if
hate
you
that.
show the kids.
So they had asked us like a few months ago, like, hey, if a dog were to show up, would you guys be happy or not? And I was like, well, heck yeah, we would. So I honestly, I should have thought about it, but I didn't even think about it because it was so kind of
Yeah.
just in passing, and
needed
they
to
were
happen.
asking, and
Yeah.
and Kara kept looking at dogs and would show them to me, and I'm like, I can't afford
Maybe it's just because I'm a dog hater.
$800,
I don't know.
$1,000 dog. You are.
Back
We
when
hate dogs.
back when I wanted a dog, I was telling Jenny one time, I was like, I'm just gonna show up with the dog and then you can be the heartless one to tear it away from the kids. She's like, okay. Like without even missing a beat. I'm like,
would.
I'm like, oh,
Wow.
Soulless.
Wow.
Test it.
I don't want a dog
You're a
anymore.
soulless
though.
vessel walking on this earth.
You got a half acre, bud. You got room
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah, but that half
room
acre
for
isn't
poop.
gonna have grass or anything for a while.
We
So,
can
That's even
let's get
better.
it done.
No grass
We'll get
for
it
it to
done.
ruin.
Yeah, seed.
We'll seed it.
Seed
yeah.
it. Hydra seed.
What will happen if a dog just shows up on your porch?
Dinner.
Dude,
I wouldn't test it.
let's take a video camera, do a live recording from the crowd.
I can see it now.
Let's get him a little dickhead dog. Like
Somehow a
mean
dog
little
just
sucker.
shows up on Tony's
like-
porch. The kids are going crazy. Tony's like, oh, yeah, great. And then Jenny's like, son of a bitch. Get this thing out of here.
It is.
Get him like-
it is a son of a bitch.
No,
I mean,
it is.
Literally, yeah.
Accurate.
assuming it's a boy dog. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never thought of that.
That's funny.
How is that even an insult?
It's not to a dog, right?
How is it an
I don't
insult to begin with?
Well, I mean, then you're calling somebody a son of a female dog, and maybe being a son of a dog is insulting.
I mean, would
I
you
wonder
like
where
to
that
be a
came
son of a
from.
dog?
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Bring us the shrubbery.
Anyway.
No, I was going to say your other good news, just because she wants you to bring her up in the podcast.
Well, now she's
That
gonna
ain't
hear.
good news for me. It's good news for her.
You said
Then
it's
it is good
saving you
news for
some
you.
money.
Well, kind of.
Hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
So my oldest daughter, Katie, she
Hi,
made.
Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Don't watch
Shout out to Katie.
Katie.
She made the junior high team. Or,
Oh.
no, the junior high cheer squad team.
Nice.
Prepare to be more
Noise.
broke.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Doesn't.
It's technically saving us money because she's not doing dance anymore.
Oh, nice.
Because dance, honestly, for the entire year was probably about $4,000 to $5,000. So, cheer is only. But here's the difference: cheer is only costing just about $1,400, but Kara was paying for dance. I now have to pay for cheer. So technically, I wasn't paying for anything. Kara was.
Wait, you guys have joint funds, don't you?
No.
You guys don't do joint
Well,
funds?
we do, but she was doing extra like cleaning stuff, and she would pay for dance that way.
So now she pays for the mortgage, right?
No, I'd pay for everything. Now.
Something's off.
That doesn't seem equal.
So it's
What is-
saving Kara money. It's not saving me money.
This world seems flip flopped.
But wait, so and that's
are we
because you're
doing
doing
here?
school cheer that it's that cheap.
Yeah, she's doing
Yes.
Yeah,
Not competition.
So word to the
No.
wise, competition cheer.
Does Shaylee do,
Oh, that-
or
that-
not
that
Shaylee,
was Katie
Kaylee
was
do,
doing.
she does competition cheer, doesn't
yeah,
she?
Yeah.
Kaylee does competition cheer.
Well, that's what Katie was doing. She was doing competition cheer and competition dance.
Oh, bugger.
Like full on like Vegas and California and Florida competition cheer.
So no.
Yeah, that's the
No.
one that gets you in the pocketbook,
Okay.
bro.
Okay. Yeah, she wasn't doing that full extent.
Yeah. I will say though, like it is I love watching how it is improving Kaylee. Like she's growing so much. She's become so active. Today I just got a video of her like doing a back handspring without help and like seeing her excited about the things she's accomplishing and being on stage in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And like all this crazy stuff and performing her heart out. Like it is really cool to watch.
Yeah.
And then I look at the bill and I just get angry. But it's cool to look at her and see how great. And honestly, dude, I think the majority of these things are such cash grabs.
Yep.
Oh, cash
Like
grabs, definitely.
so many. No, for real. Because cash grabs.
It
Because-
works on so many levels.
You pay the studio that she cheers for monthly. You have to pay for competitions. And then you go to these competitions and everyone except the person in the cheer squad has to pay for a ticket to get into the competition to see them play or to perform and stuff.
Compete.
So yeah, so like the parents, everyone, we have to still pay again to go see her, and the tickets are like almost minimum, like $30 a person.
Oh,
What's this money going to?
That's what I want to know because the competitions are not very well put together. Get on your crap, cheerleading competition people. They don't even have like a display that just says what team's up or anything. It's just a floor and a bunch of seats. And you're just like, you can't hear anything over the mic. Like, it makes no sense what they're saying.
And then you have to pay for each outfit, right?
Yes, but they only change outfits every like 2 years.
Oh.
But still, an outfit's like $500. Dude,
See, I've heard with dance is like that, the outfits and things, because it's like every recital
dance they
or
do a lot more, I think.
competition. Yeah, you have to have a dance or a outfit. But
again, it's such a trade-off because I see how good it is for her. But there's just other aspects. I'm like, you guys are freaking scoundrels.
I had to go. I went and watched I didn't have to, but I went and watched my niece perform. And I was like going in. I just walked past, like, hey, the pay line's here. I was like, I got to pay for this?
Yeah.
I was so irritated. I was like, what?
yeah, dude.
And honestly, that's why I don't expect anyone to come. Like, I don't feel bad if people don't go. Like, I'll go, of course, but it's so much. And they literally perform for 5 minutes.
Goodness.
And sometimes you're stuck there for hours.
Because you have to watch all the girls.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
And you're walking around like this. Just because you're like, I don't want any accusation. I'm not here for anything at all.
I get that.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude? I'm just like, look at that floor. That's a great floor.
Like, there's some, when they were going to dance, I was like, I just looked down and I was like, they're like, oh, your niece is up. I'm like, okay. And then I'll watch and I'm like, and then I'm like, you just feel something. It's weird.
I one time accidentally walked into, sometimes when Kaylee, she did dance when she was younger, and they have like a giant dance room where they like get into their outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
And I accidentally walked in.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, dude. I was like, I don't even know. The feeling I had was not good because everyone just started screaming, no dance, no dance. And they were freaking out. And I was like, F all of you. I don't even want to be here. Why am I here? Like,
I'm surprised there weren't moms out in front of the door. Like,
I know. Like, there's no signs. There's nothing. It is so haphazard and like,
I'm not gonna lie, that would almost
ridiculous.
piss me off where they're yelling no dads.
Oh,
I'd
dude,
be
it made
like,
me mad.
you think I want to be in here? God,
yeah, exactly.
the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
Jeez.
I'm not some perv that wandered in here on purpose.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But they don't know that.
It's. I know.
No
looking
problem.
at-
You just say
Looking at Cam, it's like,
Hey, buddy.
I'm a woman.
Till I get the
Wasn't-
hell out of here.
It wasn't as popular back then, you know?
I'm a 15-year-old girl.
Dude, it's wild.
Oh my gosh. See, hearing all you guys talk about this is like, okay, our girls are definitely not doing competition anything. No.
Oh, okay. Whoa. All right. I just want to make note for everyone listening here.
Wow. He tells us to
That-
watch our cams.
Every single
I was trying to
episode,
push it down to lock it. Now
every
Hey,
episode,
you saved
Austin tells us not to spill our stuff. Every single time.
Listen, really expensive equipment. And
Oh my god.
Wow. But your heart just stopped.
I
didn't
can't
it?
trust myself. I got to get one of those with the buttons.
Yep, you need the button.
or a sippy cup.
Are we still recording? Did you hit any buttons?
Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay.
No liquid came out from
Yeah,
what I
none.
could tell.
It's almost gone. But anyway.
But the fear in his eyes was real.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Well, I got something.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Alden stood up to his first bully.
Ooh.
You beat him to a pulp?
He's been taking jiu-jitsu, and this kid would come because he would go play in this area. This kid would come around and run around, and he would push him in the back and knock him down and kick him.
Oh, jeez.
What the
And-
freak,
Yeah,
dude?
dude, this kid's a monster. Anyway, Alden was like, I was like, what do you do? He's like, I just run away. Because he goes, I don't know. And he's pretty timid. I was like, okay, you got to, what have you learned? I said, you got to stand up to your bullies. I said, you I had to explain to him what self-defense was versus retaliation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this whole long talk. He comes home and he's like, I stood up to him. I was like, what happened? He's like, I told him, don't touch me. I was like, what'd he do? He touched me. I was like, what did you do? He's like, I touched him. I was like, okay.
And the inside dad is like,
You're like, yeah, yes.
I was like,
Throw
what
punch?
happened? So he got him held in. I forgot what they call it. He mounted him and then held him, and he's like, hey, stop. Okay, I know it sounds bad. Just think jujitsu. Because I said touching a lot too. I get it. But
More so the mounting.
so it's
All I think of is dogs trying to show dominance. So it's like
Okay.
a kid mounted.
I was fine until I saw Austin out of the corner of my eye also
so
laugh.
there's like a full mount, a half mount, like when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
controlling them. So he gets him in a full mount on top and holds it. Okay, I'm just gonna roll. I'm rolling.
Just go. I'm
We're
curious.
children.
So
I really
gets
want
him
to
in a
hear.
full mount, and he says, and he learned to tell him, "Are you gonna stop?" The kid says, "Get off me, no." He's like, so he's not complying. Gets him in a shoulder mount. He's like, and he gives him a little pressure. Are you gonna comply? Yes, I'll stop. He's like, okay. He goes, don't do that again, and walked away. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's when he start monkey
And
punching.
then he went.
Next time, throat punch.
He went and told the they call it
Duty?
a teacher. It's a teacher that does recess teachers now. Instead of just the
Still
recess. With
duty.
us, it was the recess lady, right?
Yeah, recess lady.
We call it recess lady, outside lady, duty.
Yeah. So he goes in.
Why don't
starts-
you call her duty?
Because they were
That's-
on duty.
Yeah.
And so he shortened it to duty.
Duty.
Yeah,
So-
that's gonna fly with a bunch of elementary kids.
Dude, it was when I was in elementary.
Duty.
It was funny.
I'm telling duty. So he went and told her exactly what happened. And then Lisa texted the teacher, and they had to sit down and talk. He's like, I don't like it when you do this, this, and this. He goes, please stop. He's like, well, I don't want you to be around me. He says, I can play on this playground. And they had a long talk about it, and it was good.
Wait,
the
the other
parents
kid?
involved?
The other kid said he didn't
They
want
talked
him
to other parents. We weren't allowed to talk to the other parents, but they informed the other parents. Yeah, I know.
They were afraid you were going to mount him.
Dude, I would have went and talked to his dad. I would have been nice until his dad was a sucker, and then I would have told him, knock it off.
They were worried it was gonna happen.
Comply.
Like in that we were just talking about earlier, that Jason Statham movie,
Home
Front.
Home Front.
Front.
Yep.
That was a great movie. I love that part.
Well,
Right.
before Alden, we had to talk to him about retaliation. I wasn't going to tell this part, but I am. So the kid would push him on the ground. He'd get up and go punch the kid in the gut. I was like, you can't do that.
Aim for the nuts.
Yeah. So he did that the first time, and then we talked about it, and so he just controlled the situation. Says, I don't want to hurt you. He goes, but leave me alone.
Good.
So I was like,
Nice.
right on, dude.
Good.
Dang,
Heck yeah.
dude.
He should have retaliated.
Little throat punch.
retaliation.
That way he doesn't do it to other kids.
Well, he'll call. Now he's at the point where he's like, if he sees him picking on another kid, say, like if somebody's like, I'm going to beat you up if you don't do this. He's like, hey, that's not nice. We don't talk to people that way. So he's like enforcing it. So
He's like Rip on Yellowstone.
yeah.
I don't have the energy for you today.
He's the-
Listen, Beth, I don't have the energy for you today.
I love that show, dude.
He's talking to Beth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
But yeah.
he's the playground Batman.
But he also was like scared. He goes, I don't want to get in trouble. I was like, listen, you may get in trouble at school. I said, but you're not going to get in trouble at home.
Yeah.
So,
That's what we've been telling Kaylee, too.
yep. I'm
So
not
we
going to
tried
deal
to-
with that crap.
So we tried to tell Katie. We actually had to get her. What's it called? Their. Holy crap! I can't remember the name.
counselor.
Yeah, there you go. We had to get her counselor involved. She had some kid at school, some boy, who was teasing her and kind of just being a bully to her. And she turned around and was like, "Can you please knock it off?" Like she was asking him to stop all this stuff, and he looked at her straight in the eyes and said, "Well, you can't get me in trouble because if you do, you'll be a racist." Because he's
He's of color.
A man.
I think he's.
He's a POS. I mean, C.
I think he's like Latino or of that descent. And yep, he was just like, you can't tell on me because if you do, you're going to be racist about it. So
that's
Katie
where it
was really
starts.
conflicted. She was like, she came to us and she's like, Dad, I'm not racist, but he won't leave me alone and I don't want to get him in trouble. And so we went and talked to her teacher that it was happening in, and they ended up moving spots. And she was like, if he keeps it up, like, let me know. And they were in the lunchroom one day, and I guess he started it again. And so we had to go to the counselor, and we're like, listen, like, we just want the kid to leave her alone. Like, that's all we want. I don't want to get anybody involved. I don't want to get him in trouble, but he just needs to stop, like, talking to her. And the counselor had to call him in the office and was like, this is your last chance, man. Like, stop talking to her. So
Has it stopped?
as far as we know, yeah, Katie hasn't heard another word from him. So,
It's weird that they would say that at that age.
right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Obviously,
Because
being
it's
taught.
I think
taught
it's
to
being
them.
taught at the home, or
Whether in the home or just media.
friends,
Yeah.
Or
something.
maybe he's taking it out. I don't know. Yeah.
I really, it's got to be media, friends, and or at
it's
home.
being taught somewhere,
Yeah.
and I think he's picking up on it. That
She should have been like, Me too, I'm Dutch.
No, they're not. They're not aerodynamic.
They call them the downhill people.
Dude is so out of pocket, man.
I love it.
Theo, man, he is a different breed. I don't know how he thinks.
Get you some of those Montana cherries.
Do you think that's a natural thinking process for him? Do you think he learned? Like, do you think he?
I think it's the
Dude,
drugs.
turns out he was on Road Rules
Yeah,
back in the early 2000s.
yeah, that
So
sitcom.
funny. Well, it was the reality
Yeah,
TV show.
that's what I meant.
Speaking of reality TV shows, Jerry Springer passed away today.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's like 70 something.
79.
That dude was. Do you think he laid there in his bed on his deathbed thinking, I did some good stuff in my life?
Yes.
I changed
Or do you think he
people's
was
lives.
like, man, midgets are scary?
No, he probably just laid there listening to tapes over and over again of people just yelling, Jerry, Jerry.
Dude, that show was weird.
Yeah,
It was great.
Like,
you
it freaked me out as a kid. When I saw it come on, I was intrigued, but I was also like, I can't watch
What
this.
was it?
I was
Wasn't
like,
it
people
on
don't
at
act
like
this?
Wasn't it on at like 11:30
Yeah,
at night on
dude.
like WB or whatever?
it was always one of
like-
those things where like you'd be sleeping out in the living room and you pass out watching the show. or
Yeah.
something, and you wake up and they'd have the weird infomercials and then Jerry Springer.
Yep.
Well,
Like,
the best part too is they had the infomercials for the uncut Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I remember those too.
You want to see it uncut,
And
uncensored?
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was those back to back.
All those.
Dude.
That was wild. We all had the same.
I'm only
experience.
12. I don't have a credit card.
Spring Bake
Who is
Edition.
this
I
guy?
need that for the collection. It's gonna be a collectible.
And that was in between the 100 CD collections of
Yep.
classic rock.
Oh, what was
I
that?
used to have the commercial memorized as a song.
All the funny
Yeah.
thing is all the songs would be scrolling like
Yep.
really
Yeah.
fast, and then you'd get the highlighted yellow one, and they'd start playing the music.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they would keep
Must have been
scrolling.
love.
Been love, but it's over now.
All the rock ballads too.
The rock ballads,
Yeah, the
love ballads.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Or the
Always
nows.
come on with like the perm mullet and then the
Uh-huh.
doves flying.
Uh-huh.
Sunsets.
What was the name of that collection?
The girl and the guy meeting up in like the
know.
nice fancy room in the beach or whatever, and
Yeah.
the white cloths going on in the background.
I just remember whose line.
Doves flying.
Yeah, doves going through.
I just remember whose line is it anyways, like mocking those
Oh,
and
yeah.
making up and
Yeah,
playing
making
songs.
up their own ones.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they could
Icons.
just spit
Oh,
off
yeah.
a topic, and then Wayne and whoever else would make
what's
up the
funny?
songs. And
Yeah.
Back
oh, man.
back before people got offended. My favorite thing that they ever did on Whose Line Is It Anyway is it's that one where two of them have to move the other two around to act out
Yeah.
the scenes.
Oh yeah.
And it was like making breakfast or whatever. And
Oh yeah.
They Colin, I think it was like Colin puts what's his name, the
Wayne.
black guy, Wayne into the toaster. And Wayne also pops out, and the guy's like, the other guy's like, "Oh, mine came out perfect." He goes, "Mine's burnt."
Dude, they were
You know,
so funny.
they had a traveling improv show and it
Yeah.
came to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And I tried to find tickets, but it was sold out.
Oh, I'm
of course.
sure.
Well, that-
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Colin and the other guy.
Colin Mockery and
I don't know his
who's
name.
the tall
Ryan
guy?
Stiles?
Yeah,
No,
Ryan
not,
Stiles.
Not Ryan though. It was Colin and another guy that they were
Wayne.
going on tour. But it's a guy who's been on Whose Line Is
Oh,
It
it's
Anyway?
the
Had-
rotating like fourth chair person.
Yeah, he's been on.
Oh,
that.
With
okay.
glasses.
No, it was
no.
another guy.
Was it
Younger
more
guy,
the- like
dark,
the-
slicked hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could have been a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
He
guy.
looked like a
Well,
vampire.
there's a vampire.
Boom, 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 boom.
No, I remember on the Jerry Springer thing, this comedian Pablo Francisco. You guys ever hear him?
Oh yeah.
He did a bit on him
friends.
so long ago where he's like, that Jerry Springer show, he's like, he just started those fights, and he's like, he'd have someone on that's like, I hate blacks, Mexicans and Chinese people. And he's like, well, it just so happens we have some blacks, some Mexicans, and some Chinese people.
Let's discuss.
Come on out.
Yeah, I know. And then he's like, he just makes all these fighting sounds. And then he's like, here's a knife. Do something with the knife. Like,
He just drops out of his pant leg like as he walks by.
What makes me mad is all those Jerry Springers you thought were authentic. You didn't think they were scripted. Until like finally at some
Yeah.
point you realized, okay, these are scripted.
They probably are.
Do you remember when
Wait, did you say probably are?
Probably are.
No, they totally
they
are.
were?
I mean,
had to
I
have
don't,
been.
I don't think it'd be that hard to find some trashy
Well,
people.
that's true.
Some of those things were pretty out of hand.
I'm sure some are, but I guarantee you there were probably a couple.
remember
that
when
were
it was
like,
on Austin Powers?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When it was on Austin Powers, and they made fun of it kind of when Dr. Evil would come on, and it's about my dad wants to rule the world.
Oh
and
yeah.
It's like one guy was a KKK member, another guy was a Nazi, and
Yeah.
Mostly because
and-
like I look at those people and I'm like, there's no way that person's an actor. They are genuinely garbage.
I'm kind of on both sides. I don't think they had actors on the show, but they had a script. Like
Yeah.
probably
That's what
not
you're
word for word script, but it's kind of like, all right, you're going to be on the show. This is the role you're playing. Blah blah blah. Like, now run with it. And then they
Kinda.
feed off of each other.
So an actor. Got it.
Kind of like,
Like,
wait, no. I think it's more so like wrestling.
I knew that.
I knew that was coming.
Gosh, I
know
was
what's
waiting
funny?
for Austin to say. That's why I was
I
staring at him.
zipped
They're
my
real
lip.
trash.
Don't even
And the-
go there.
The outcome is no. The fights are choreographed.
You're
But
such
they're real athletes.
you're such a dick.
So here's that black and
Cam's
white.
on one with you right
Here's
now.
Here's
Cam
that
and
black
you
and white
tonight.
thing
I
going on.
know.
I love you.
You guys are going on Jerry Springer.
Can't. He dead.
You think
on
someone
Junior Springer.
You know what's funny is they'd be airing right next to each other. Like you'd wake up at night and it was a gamble on what you'd see. It'd either be wrestling
like a
or it was gonna be
rerun.
Jerry Springer.
I didn't realize he was a politician, too. I saw a news headline
Yeah.
that it was like
Does that state still exist?
it was like politician turned talk show host or something like that.
It makes sense. That
Before-
would be
before
that
he
would be
was
the
a
right
politician?
job.
Or he was a politician first.
He couldn't figure out inside trading or what?
It makes total sense. He sows discord in the public. He
Yeah.
puts people against each other.
I know
Starts
we've talked,
fights.
I
And
know we've
scripts
talked
everything.
about it at the same time as that same. I think we've talked about it on the podcast. That scene in wrestling where, it was at late. It was one of those things where I woke up late
Cobra.
at night. Wrestling was on. No, and some guy got hauled to a back room and was like tied up, and they chopped off his crotch.
On wrestling?
Yeah, on wrestling.
Was this cable?
No, it was public access.
Pay-per-view.
Even Zach's worried about that.
No,
one.
like legit, they carried a wrestler to the back, and he was like tied up, and they had it all blurred. But some guy pulled out like a katana and chopped his dick off, and it fell to the ground and like rolled. But they had it all blurred. And he's like, ah! And I was like, what is this about on wrestling?
Iranian wrestling.
No, it was like WWE or something.
Wow.
Might have to look into that one.
WCW.
If it was WCW,
I
that
thought
would
you were bringing up
surprise
the
me.
Python thing.
No.
Where he hits him with it. He's all,
Anyway, same time
I mean, they
frame.
got to experiment.
Yeah, that one was funny.
That was
It,
good.
it just if
They
you
meant
watched,
that to be comical.
Yes, yeah. That was funny because in that same time he pulls out the snake, the cobra, and he goes like this, and then one guy acts like he's playing like the little flute,
Yeah.
and it starts playing over. Then the other guy plays the flute, and so
Yeah.
he's going back and forth. And I think eventually he ends up hitting himself with his own cobra type thing. Falls over. That was meant to be comical.
So
Shut up, Cam.
because we were talking about Nazis and all those. Did you guys hear about the Nazi in Ogden?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Real
this
life
guy, he
Nazi?
was a real life. What do they call those?
Nats.
Neo-Nazis?
Neo-Nazi.
Oh.
So he had swastika tatted on his chest. He had tattoos all over his face and stuff, and he got I mean, I saw the body cam footage, but it's hard. I wish everything was working. I'd love to pull it up.
Yeah.
But anyway, the guy, he was doing something suspicious.
Well, so
the body cam footage kicks in late.
Yeah, well, it started out. What started the whole thing is somebody was on a side street getting ready to pull out onto Washington Boulevard and filmed 3 officers on top of this guy, like throwing punches and all that stuff. And that's what started the whole controversy. But then that led to them releasing the body cam.
But yeah, what I'm getting at is I don't know what led them to tackling him and all that.
So the guy apparently was in the road on a busy street, just kind of running back and forth. Somebody had called it in. The police showed up and said, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Show us your hands. Show us your hands." And every time they said, "Show us your hands," he started reaching. Like into his
hands
waist
in his pocket.
In his pocket. And so they tackled him. And at the moment, they kept saying, "Stop resisting. Show us your hands." And he kept reaching every time they would say it.
Yeah.
And then finally, so I mean, they were throwing punches. I mean,
they
were
throw hard ones.
Oh yeah. And finally, they got him to get his hands behind his back, and they threw him over to the side of the curb, and you can see the officer yelling at the guy, and he's like, "Dude, are you an idiot? Why would you do that?" And he finally looked and said, "You're lucky you didn't get shot."
Yeah.
Like you're
Well,
lucky.
he was resisting arrest. He had to get tased.
Yeah, he got tased.
So, but in the meantime, he had 3 officers on him. They were throwing punches, trying to get his arms behind his back.
I don't
It was
know
crazy.
if they've come out and said yet or not. I think he was probably on some type of drugs as well.
Yeah.
I don't,
Superhuman.
But like
Yeah.
his Facebook profile was literally like as neo-Nazi as you can pretty much
garbage.
get. Yeah, just garbage. But like
scum of the
the
earth.
whole thing was pretty wild because there was his mom was trying to get a GoFundMe and do all this like police brutality and help us fight police brutality and put up a GoFundMe, all this stuff because he legit had like broken eye sockets.
yeah,
and,
he got pretty messed
but he
up.
wouldn't put his arms behind his
Yeah,
back.
he would not. He would not cooperate with these officers at all.
It's like, what do you want him to do? Risk their like? Oh, let's hug him until he gives
it's
up.
honestly, it's
Please.
Well, that's the funny
Go
thing
to
is,
sleep.
is
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
someone laid it out perfectly when I was reading through the comments on it, and they were like, "You people get mad when officers use excessive force and they shoot someone, so these officers decide to use excessive force without shooting." And you're pissed off at them this way. Like, what do you want these guys to do?
Less lethal.
Because if they would have turned around and shot this guy, which they easily could have and probably been okay
would've been
with it would have been justified.
Yeah.
But they chose not to, and instead they used, maybe more excessive force in another way.
I wouldn't say excessive.
No,
it was
no.
just force.
Yes,
they had to use force to
I mean,
subdue
almost
it.
Justified force
at
to
some-
subdue
You
him,
have to
yes.
use matching force. Like,
Yes.
You can't use less than the guy's using because otherwise he'll just beat you and run away.
But the sad thing is you just kind of learn with this outcome, people are going to be pissed off at the cops no matter what.
Oh,
they
yeah.
do.
Or what?
And
You know what though? I will say that majority of comments were swaying back the other way. It was all in support of Ogden PD.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good.
It was good to read.
Good.
It
Like
was nice.
The other people that are upset about it, just drop him off at their doorstep.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's
all
no
right,
It's
problem
like,
now.
here, show me how to do it.
you handle it.
You show me how.
Put a bow on his head.
Right?
Speaking of that too, there's a developing story literally a block away from my house.
Right now?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is
Started
wild,
tonight.
dude.
Oh, it
What?
got even
More?
weirder. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh snap.
So-
Okay, so this I'm gonna warn you guys. This immediately is gonna jump into the dark.
Yeah, this
So,
will go on to the dark side. a little bit.
Prepare
So
yourselves.
this is literally a
not-
block away from my house.
It's not a lot of fun.
My wife calls me and she's like, "Hey, did you hear about the fire that's going on?" I was like, "What?" And so she sent photos. This house just ablaze, all this stuff, and we end up talking to my dad a little bit. Fox 13 it's on the news now and everything, so I read up on a little bit. But apparently, it involved a husband, a wife, and a brother. And I
Brother of like the husband or the wife?
don't know. There's 3 people involved. This unknown man, whether he's a brother of the 2 involved, apparently went into the house, shot the husband and killed him, shot the wife. She is actually okay. She's in the hospital. She's okay. Oh my gosh. He heard the cops coming, turned around and went out to the cops and started firing at the cops. Cops turned down, released fire on him, killed him immediately. And in the meantime, though, this guy set ablaze to this house.
Wait, so it was
And-
one guy that went in,
Yep. One guy went in,
killed the husband.
killed the husband,
and then
Tried to kill the
Well,
wife.
so
the wife.
that's what they're trying to figure out. They don't know if this guy who came in was the husband or if it was a brother or who it was. They're trying to figure out who the two males were.
But the
But
guy was related to.
But what they're thinking is the brother came in and is related to either husband or the wife, killed the husband, shot at the wife, and then he would turn around and shot.
But when he
fire at
started the
police.
house on fire, was she inside?
Yes.
But they got her out?
Yeah. Yeah, they were able to get her out, and
That's wild.
apparently the house is a complete loss. But they're
From the
just
pictures you showed, I don't.
they're
doubt
just
it.
but it's this huge thing that's going on.
I
They're
wonder
a
if it
block
was-
away from my house.
Well, and the saddest part about it, at least that you shared, well, maybe not saddest, but their age. Their age was like surprising.
65 and 63-year-olds.
Yeah,
So, and I don't know the age of the third person involved now. They haven't come out and said that.
that's
Wait, how old did you say?
65 and 63.
yeah,
What?
right.
Yeah.
like a gang affiliated 65 and 60. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I'm sure, like I said, it's developing. I'm sure give it a couple days and more news will come out exactly what happened. But
That's so bananas.
yeah, there was a
Things.
think
got-
Yeah, they said it. They said they believe it potentially involves a sibling dispute.
Yeah. Oh, you have it pulled up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think neighbors said that they heard about 15 shots inside the house. At one point, something up towards the 15 shots or whatever.
I wonder if it's like an affair situation.
There was also reports.
Maybe it was a brother?
There was also reports. I guess police showed up. If my dad was talking to me a little bit, and I guess he said police showed up earlier in the day because there was disputes of fighting in the house. And I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know. Maybe if the husband. I mean, this is me just thinking out loud. So I almost wonder if maybe the husband was beating on the wife, and then the brother found out and got pissed off and.
But why would he shoot the wife then?
Maybe it was an
I don't know.
accident.
Maybe it was just a crossfire and accidentally hit her, and then
Like if he was
Didn't
starting-
wanna
Left
go-
her
if
for
he was
dead in
struggling
a
at
burning
all or
house.
didn't want to go to jail, and then turned around and shot fire on the
See,
police.
my-
I don't know. Like
This is just a Tony theory here too, but I wonder where they said that they don't know if the shooter was the husband or the brother. I wonder what if the wife was home with the brother having an affair and the husband showed up.
oh,
Yeah. So
don't know.
then he shoots his
So
own
he
brother.
shoots his own brother out of just pure rage and then goes to shoot his wife too. And
that
I don't know.
that could be it
again,
too.
just
I don't
a
know.
theory.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dang.
That's rough, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that was from the pictures, we'll have to show you guys afterwards, but it's like it's literally from Zach's house. You can see the house on fire.
That's
Jeez
crazy.
Louise.
But
Speaking of lost houses, you guys see those
that
houses falling off a cliff in Draper?
that was nuts, dude. That was like
Yeah, that was a house. Wow,
That is
well,
like,
see if I can
yeah,
get it on
zoom
there.
in.
I don't know.
Pause and pin. And
That's the best I can get for you.
I promise we'll have this up and running and give us 2 weeks.
on the Draper thing, that was like watching, I don't know why, but that's, like, I don't know how to explain it, but watching like a sinking ship,
yeah.
it gives me this really dark feeling because it's like, it's sinking into this really dark abyss to never be seen again. And I know the houses aren't that case, but that's the feeling it gave me, was watching them slowly tip off the side of this mountain and just be
Just
gone.
disappear.
It was just eerie. I was like, oh my
I don't get
gosh.
that feeling.
Really?
I've never had that feeling.
Oh,
What's the feeling?
Just
I don't know.
despair?
I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Don't go
it's-
to the void.
Call of the void, dude.
I don't know how to explain it. But like
Never had that feeling.
watching any kind of sinking, it's mainly just with sinking ships or boats. Like it freaks me out. Like
Really?
not like a fear. Like I don't know how to. I mean, obviously it's a fear. No one wants to be on a boat when it's sinking or anything. But like watching it and seeing it like half underwater and just seeing it going, it gives me this weird feeling.
What about when it's like going under and Jack Sparrow is riding it to the dock?
That's just skill. That's
Okay. Okay, so it's conditional. Got it.
but I don't know it. But yeah, watching that Draper thing, that was crazy. That gave me the same feeling.
Apparently, the guy who owned the house said he can't even believe that it happened.
Yeah.
Because I think they pulled him out of the house like a year ago.
Well, so
it was condemned.
Okay, yeah,
it was two houses.
I read on it. So yeah, it is 2. But the first house, that you saw tumble down the hill, he got evicted, or they got evicted from their house back in the fall.
Okay.
Because at that
It
time,
started cracking, didn't it?
their
The
house
foundation?
had already sunk a foot into the soil.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So like it wasn't even built right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Let alone it was on a cliffside.
That's
And so,
Well, that's Utah for you.
well,
Wherever we can build a house, let's just throw them up.
Except the giant fields that are completely empty.
Well, that's true.
Leave them alone. That doesn't give you the view that the bench does.
Yeah.
you know, I
The view all the way down. Woo!
this is something I have never understood. I don't care for the view on top of the mountain looking over the valley.
Personally, I'm with you. So
You get to
I
look at
would
all the
rather
poor
look-
people.
I'd rather look.
Stupid. I hate looking at lights.
I'd rather look at the mountains
Yeah.
than look at the city from the mountains.
Yeah,
You have
exactly.
you have to have some sort of balcony, and you walk out in like Roman garb, and you're like, yes. Good morning, my peasants.
You have the leaves in your ears like the Caesar type thing.
See, that's why I love where I live, because I get the best of both worlds.
You do. You
I
got
get a
good
really
spot.
good view of the mountains behind me, and then I get a good view of the city in front of me, or the valley.
Do you go out in your robe?
You have to now.
I go out naked.
Oh,
That's called morning
That's
glory.
illegal.
Not in my backyard, it's
but no.
not.
I thought watching that video.
I don't know about that, man.
Are you being productive today?
Watching that video though made me think of the lot that you guys almost got.
Oh yeah, same.
Because
Same.
when we went golfing that one time and you pointed it out and said that was the lot we were waiting on, and that's exactly what I thought of.
It's exactly what we thought of.
Right there, I'm like, man, that was probably a blessing in
Dude, for
disguise
real.
that didn't work out.
Yeah. They still have not built on that property.
I have
Well,
a
look at-
strong feeling it's because of that land.
Look at it, Kaysville too, with some of the flooding we've seen already.
Oh, yeah.
How it's like caving in streets.
Yeah.
Like all this
That's
stuff, and like
insane.
apparently in Salt Lake, there's practically like rivers right now running through some of the streets.
Yeah.
What's weird is like you hear of it, but we don't see any of it here.
I know none of it's
It's-
happening. Well, if you look at your phone right now, was it doing it still? All day mine was telling me on the weather. What did it say? I think hydrologic outlook.
Mine says
Is the
50
warning.
Mine says severe weather. Yeah, why?
So a hydrologic
George.
outlook
Why is it in-
is
no.
basically warning of some sort of water-related disaster.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
hydrologic
Yeah.
outlook, yeah.
So it says the severity of
1:30
this
p.m.
alert is
Friday.
not known. Great. It's in effect until tomorrow. It
1:30
says
tomorrow.
rises to creeks, streams, and rivers due to increased snow melt. So basically, it's just saying
Be ready.
temperatures are increasing enough that snow's going to melt pretty quick. So it's very likely that flooding and all this other stuff is going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just FYI for those of you obviously not from around here, Utah had its record-breaking winter this year.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But-
definitely by over 150 inches.
Yeah.
Alta was it Alta?
I
I was
think
gonna
so.
say someone
Broke
just
900.
901 inches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where the snow was up to the like gears
Yep.
of the freaking
Yeah.
lifts.
That is unreal.
Right,
Like
dude?
that is something only fathomed in movies, I swear.
And it makes me mad. It doesn't make. It would
makes
be.
you mad.
It would be the year that we have phenomenal snowfall that I have to not be on the mountain.
That's exactly what one of my coworkers said. He usually gets a ski pass for him and his son.
Yeah.
And he's like, he did it for the past 2 years and pretty much wasted his money for the most part.
Yeah.
So this year he was like, I didn't do it. And I was like, yeah, I bet you regret that, don't you? He goes, yes, I do. Because this is like the perfect season to go.
Yeah. Well, Jess was pregnant all through winter and spring, and
Yep.
so I was
Yep.
like, I could only get away if I got out like 5 times, which is pretty good for me, but still, like, oh man, I would have been out
Is that
so much
enough?
more.
Is that enough to pay for a season pass?
No,
Like 5 or see that's because aren't they like
you
ridiculously
need to go like
expensive?
8 or 9 times. Yeah, they're over $1,000.
That's oh
Dude, I feel like
heavens.
skiing has always been a ridiculously.
It's really not that expensive though.
it is.
It is
It
though.
is.
It is.
It is,
is.
but it isn't. Okay,
But it is.
if competition cheer is expensive.
You get a lot
And
more
you
out
get
of
a-
it, I feel.
No, I don't think so.
Sparkly dress?
I mean, you're
get the-
traveling and you get experiences. You're at
Yeah,
different
yeah,
places.
yeah. Backpedal there, bud.
With snowboarding, you're just on the snow.
Now,
What's he gonna do? Go on top. You're on the snow again.
hey man, I love it. It's a passion of mine. I
In
enjoy it.
fairness, like if I
It's
could
fun.
spend that kind of money and go golfing every day, man, I'd be all over that. So
I mean, I get it. It's fun. But it's not cheap.
But like, I guess for me, I always compare it to motorsports because my dad was is still huge into snowmobiling and all that stuff. And it's like, man, you can't even touch a sled for like 10 grand.
Oh yeah, those are way more.
And so it's
expensive.
like
Yeah.
that's 10 years of skiing, you know. So
$24,000 for a new sled. Nowadays.
yeah,
That's
easy.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
so
would,
it's like,
I would love to get a snowmobile. That would be a blast.
see, I hate snowmobiling.
I love snowmobiling.
I so much more prefer snowboarding.
I've heard with snowmobiling, it's one end of
kinda
the spectrum or the
scary.
other. You either love it or you hate it.
I can't say
There's-
anything.
I hate
I
it.
do off-roading with a UTV.
That's different though.
It's expensive. That's,
Yeah, I mean, your side by side, that's
Yeah.
like a $30,000
Oh yeah,
car.
those things are freaking expensive.
they're
yeah.
expensive.
Everything's effing expensive.
So when you
Thanks, Biden.
give perspective,
Expensive.
all of a sudden
Expensive.
skiing and snowboarding isn't so expensive.
On the skiing and snowboarding
I mean,
thing,
it's still expensive.
what'd you guys think of that one video? Did you see the video of the skier that starts to fall down that cave?
Yes.
Oh
Stops
yeah.
himself just in time.
I read
My
up on it.
gosh.
He had to be. Luckily,
There's
he had
no
some,
way he was getting out of
he
there.
had he had some people behind him, and they dropped a rope, and he had to climb out with his
He
rope.
was back
fell down a
country skiing,
crevasse.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was a what's the term for it though? Not a crevasse. It's a
a hole.
Crevice.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
no. There's another term for it
No,
anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It just developed underneath
Yeah.
him, just randomly.
That was
No, I
he,
feel
he,
you
he
saw it.
like the last.
It was
second.
like
You
it was
could
like
see
under.
it.
It was there was like a small,
There's
almost
a
like a
divot.
small hill, and so it wasn't until he was right at that it was there, and you see he tried to cut back, but he was
It's
too
like
much
the-
momentum, and he was like,
well, it's like the
Straight
snow
into it.
kind of gave out on him.
Yeah.
because you could kind of see it, but then
Is that
where
the video?
A chasm.
A chasm.
It's called a chasm.
Yep.
chasm.
it's Kazam.
No, that's check.
I am
Snow
Kazam.
I am chasm. I am chasm.
But no, watching that in a weird way, like I fear for the guy's life, and I'm glad he stopped. But I was really curious what would have happened if he kept going.
right.
I'm
We
like,
wouldn't have the video.
touche.
You might have made it out.
Did that give you that feeling like when a sink's shipping? It's late and I've had
Sinks
two
are
extra.
Wow.
Sinks are shipped
I
every
didn't,
day.
Wow, I
All
didn't
the
know
time.
things could ship, huh?
Bring waters
Yeah,
are
man, have
sinking.
you ever gone to Home Depot?
Some-
Oh,
See,
true.
you
Okay,
Someone
all
probably
right, all right.
shipped a sink to your house
Yeah.
recently.
But that guy shipped his pants, that's for sure.
Not from Kmart. They're closed.
I shipped my
So
drawers.
is Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, they're filed.
So if you got
bankruptcy.
any gift cards, you better use them up. I know
Yeah.
we've got a few. Gotta
Are
get
there
one.
even any left
you
in
know
Utah?
what?
There's the one on
one,
Riverdale.
yeah, one over in Riverdale.
Riverdale?
But I blame it on them. They are so flipping expensive.
Oh,
yeah.
it is stupid
Oh,
expensive
yeah.
Like-
there.
I always thought of them as the physical location of the Sky Mall magazines on planes.
Right?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once Amazon came out, it's like, well, you're screwed.
Yep.
yeah.
Now they have all that weird stuff on Amazon, and I can get it tomorrow.
Yeah. For cheaper.
Exactly.
A lot cheaper.
For a fourth of the price.
Yeah.
They were freaking expensive.
Yeah, they're way
I
expensive.
am curious. I want to go into the store though and just see if there's anything on major clearance
I doubt
Or
it.
left.
or left.
Yeah, no joke.
Probably all cleaned out for sure.
Gosh.
Oh man.
How do you even get someone to work, like to stay there knowing the company's gone? Like,
So they
They pay him in advance.
do they?
No, because
so
I'd be out of there.
A lot of times the companies will incentivize. So when Nestle used to be under the ice cream, used to be under a DSD, which is like vendors or whatever. So they would have a vendor come in, they drop it at the store, and then people would come work it directly from Nestle. And then eventually now they do a direct to store, so they ship it to all the warehouses. So they had to lay off all these drivers. And so I talked to a lot of the guys because I knew a lot of the vendors. They were saying that Nestle actually incentivized them and told them that if they were to stay up until the last day, they would pay them out so much money for every year that they've been with the company. So there was like one guy, from what I understood, like his payout, because he was with the company for like 24 years, his payout was like let's say it was $2,000 per year that he was there. So I mean, he would have been paid out about 48 grand just for staying with the company till the end.
Wow,
And
that's
then he
cool.
got the bankruptcy notice saying, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, then he got there. He came the last day and all the doors were
Just
padlocked.
closed. So I actually had a friend who worked there, and he was talking to
Yes, you
me,
didn't.
and he actually made it off really, really well because he had a job lined up with another company, and he worked it out with them, and he told them, "Hey, listen, I need to stay with Nestle until I get this payout because I'm getting a good chunk of payout." And I said, "Can you leave this job open for me when they come over there?" And they're like, "Yeah, job's yours.
That's cool.
Spend your time
That's
finishing
awesome.
off at Nestle. As soon as you're done there, come over here. We'll start you." So literally, it was like the next day he was at the other company working.
Hershey.
That's awesome.
No?
Not a
Just
maybe.
kidding.
Dove.
But that's
soap?
a lot of times how they'll do it is
That's why it tastes weird. Knew that wasn't white chocolate.
Or the shampoo.
oh,
Okay,
Yikes.
I got one more question just because I haven't researched it, but I'm sure you have researched the crap out of it,
who?
Not me.
Tony.
No.
Yeah,
Probably not.
100%. The mortgage rate increase for worse,
Oh,
for
yeah.
better.
Yeah, what the hell is that all about?
Like,
credit rating.
yeah, Tony, what are you trying to pull here?
What is it? If
What's
you,
your angle, Tony?
Well, you see,
A corn pop? Come on, man.
what is it? If you have like a credit score of like 650 or lower, you get
you don't
a
have to
lower
pay. You don't
credit-
have to pay fees.
yeah, and then if you have a credit score of
Or
like
no, that's what it is.
750 or
It was
whatever
like, it was like if you have a 650 credit score or lower, you get what was it? It was like a 1.2% or 1.25% credit, or something like that. So
Yeah.
you're almost like, instead of you paying fees, they're paying you. But if you have a credit score of
650 and
660
above
or
or whatever,
higher, or
yeah.
I
something,
thought it was like 740 or something and above.
that's what. Yeah.
Or there was
I don't
like
know if it was even-
maybe it was like 680 to like 740 was like a 1.5%, and then from 740 up it was a percent. So it was almost like
Yeah.
a weird thing where like if your credit was exceptionally good, you weren't penalized as much as those with like a like great.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start being irresponsible.
Right?
I've seen so many TikToks where the dude's like, pulls out his card and he's like, on my way to destroy my credit so someone else can pay my mortgage.
Yep.
TikTok, huh? What are you doing on TikTok?
Well, I get it like a week later on Reels on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Well, from what I heard,
I totally
You know what I mean?
understand you.
It's
Yeah.
the filtered TikToks.
From like a real adult.
what I heard is people with high credit scores are actually having to make up and pay out the people with lower credit scores so they can get a home.
Yeah,
That's how it's worked
exactly.
out.
Yeah.
It sounds like utter garbage,
Right.
but I don't understand, and I haven't looked much into it. So I'll be honest, there's not. The headlines make it sound like a freaking joke.
Well, there's
I need
circumstances
to
where
look
people lose
into
their
it
credit
more.
because of issues, but at the same time, I've worked pretty damn hard to have a high credit score.
Yeah, we all have.
Exactly.
Right.
That's it's
So-
called responsibility.
Exactly.
Responsibility.
Like it goes
What's
to
that?
Responsibility.
not quite yet. It goes back to all that stuff with like student loan payoffs. It's like on one hand you have someone who got a student loan, went to school, got a good job, paid it off.
Me.
And then on the other hand, you have people who go in and take out these giant loans for crap degrees, can't get a job, and now they're just expecting everyone else to forgive the debt and pay it off for them.
think so?
But you won't get reimbursed for what you paid.
Me nor Jess.
Like, it
we didn't
makes
get reimbursed for either of ours.
no
and we paid
sense.
ours off.
So here's
Exactly.
what it is. 620 FICO score gets a 1.75% fee discount. 740 FICO score pays 1% fee. That's
So it's
makes
basically, it is
no
like they're
sense.
moving the fee.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one is Biden rule will redistribute high risk loan costs to homeowners with good credit.
I'm glad he put his name on it.
Okay,
we
so
know
they're
who
going to
the
do 08 all over
jackhole
again.
is.
Yeah.
It's what they're going to do.
They're gonna what?
Do 08 all over again.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Hey, at least it'll be dropped.
I don't
2008.
see where
for
the-
those who don't know.
What's the thought here? What?
There isn't.
There
any.
is no thought,
Have
Tony.
you have you seen our president?
Well, I know.
You listen
Have
to
you-
him?
Have you seen his new slogan for his new presidential race?
No.
Come on, man.
It's even better.
Is it nothing? Is it just silence?
His new slogan for his next, because he's came out and officially announced he's going to run again, and his new slogan is "Let's finish what we started."
What did you start?
The
Right?
downfall of the country.
Exactly. Let's finish tearing
Well,
this country apart.
The best part that I saw was he was at some speech. He was supposed to give some sort of speech, and now I know as an adult, these guys will pay actors to be in the audience to like cheer and all that stuff. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they'll totally pay stand-ins
Crazy.
to like cheer and you know.
Try to hype
Is
people
that tax
up.
deductible?
Yes.
I'm just gonna pay
kinda
somebody
like-
when I walk into my house after work to
Dude,
cheer.
you're probably not even being taxed on it because you're getting paid under the table, I bet.
Yeah. He's talking about the stand-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this is live or what?
So.
Edit that out.
So yeah, so
No, I do.
he's at this place where he's supposed to give a speech, totally forgets all of his lines, and he almost like reiterates like his welcome. And the crowd like kind of looks around and then they all just abruptly cheer.
Like
And
they
it-
missed the cue at
Yeah,
first.
yeah. And they're dude, it's hilarious
Oh my
because it
God.
seems
I'd
like
I'd be
they're
surprised
super
if
excited.
The whole freaking crowd is paid.
It's like that scene in A
Like the
Knight's
entire
Tale.
crowd.
Oh yeah.
It's like that scene in A Knight's Tale when they're announcing him or like talking about it, and everybody sits there, and then his one
Roland.
Oh yeah, Roland.
He's like, yeah. So everybody like, has to
That's
do-
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Well, did you see recently he was at a conference or whatever in front of a bunch of reporters, so it was a smaller one. But he pulled this paper out and the camera sees the paper, and on the paper there's a picture of the reporter, her name, what she's going to ask him, and everything, like ready to go. Like they pre-screened the questions and only let him answer the ones that they wanted him to.
I've seen that.
I feel bad for that dude. I mean,
It's
That
not
dude-
even him.
That's what
well,
There's
going
another
to
video. It's
retirement.
like, oh, they switched out Joe again, and it's like a completely different looking guy.
yeah.
well, I just feel like that's. I mean,
I will say-
you're extorting a senior citizen. I think. at
Here's the
this
thing,
point.
though. Have you ever seen videos of him younger, though? He is still an idiot.
Like that clip.
His
of-
policies are pretty terrible.
Well, at least he knew he was an idiot then.
That,
No, he
no, that clip of him when he was like talking about how he's got all these doctorate degrees.
yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And
That was
he's-
all a lie, though.
And he's
No,
like
and then-
making fun of the guy. He's like, here's like basically calling the other guy stupid. He doesn't have as many degrees.
Then immediately following is all these news anchors about how reporting on the story about how he has no degrees, he never attended these
Yep.
colleges. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I read that if he does win again, then at the end of his second run, he'll be 86 years old.
Wow.
He's our oldest
that
president.
dude needs
like,
to enjoy retirement.
I
Like,
honestly, and I mean, not well. Anyways, I
Thanks,
don't.
thanks, Biden.
Yeah, yep. I was.
Come on, man.
I don't, and you know, it's nothing personal against him, but I don't think he will get reelected.
Yeah.
Let's
I
pray.
don't think he will. But at
guy-
the same time, Trump will not get reelected either.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening either because I know he's
I
going
wonder
to
who
run.
else is going to run.
I don't know.
DeSantis is running, isn't he?
Is it official yet?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But I mean, as sad as it is that he's old and a muttering fool, his vice president is much younger and is probably a bigger muttering fool than he is.
She's terrible.
She literally gives reports, like gives speeches like a freaking seventh grader gives book reports on books
Listen,
they
I
didn't
feel
read.
for her. Have you ever heard me try to give a speech?
Oh, so
We're gonna
bad.
need
Yeah,
to look
it's-
into that because I tried looking into it for my sister's sake and I couldn't make sense of the whole mortgage rate thing.
Yeah,
It's
I need to.
maddening.
I really
Well,
do
Joe,
need to look into
he
it
got
more.
caught. What's it called? Where you steal somebody's speech?
Plagiarizing.
He was caught plagiarizing so many speeches and stuff when he was giving them. It's just I don't know. It's all
Just a bunch of crap.
I mean, at his age, the guy shouldn't even be behind the wheel of a car, let alone running a country.
Yeah.
It's just.
But like the biggest like one of the world's superpowers now. I don't know if we're still up there for all the crap.
Slowly losing that one.
All right, last calls. We got like 3. I'll give us 3 more minutes. Any last in the news?
My house is ahead of schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you really need to look into that
I
policy.
really need to look into this mortgage
You really
thing.
need to drop that credit score down.
Yeah, how can we take this in 3 weeks?
All we gotta do is make it drop when you take out the mortgage, and then zoop,
Honestly, it's that easy.
we can find a way.
It's credit cards. That's where it's at.
There it is.
You max out a couple credit cards. Credit dips quite a bit.
Yep.
Then you turn around, pay those credit cards off, shoots right back up.
You
Yeah,
just
it's
return everything.
stupid.
It's true.
You just return it all.
I learned that with owning a company. Yeah.
So I had a credit card this last year that we got. So what? It was a $14,000 limit, and I got it up to around like $7,500, and turned around and we paid it off beginning of this year. Got taxes back, all that stuff, and paid it right off. And my credit score jumped up like 35 points.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
bam! I was like, holy crap!
My credit score
So-
looks like a cardiogram. From I've learned.
Heart attack out.
Well, I've learned that like because they'll pull your credit or check your credit mid-month or whatever, and I always pay off the credit card before the next cycle. But I've learned to do a mid-month where I pay it off and then pay it off again, and now it's keeps it up. But I was like, what is going on with my credit score?
Oh, and real quick, actually, now I just thought about this, talking about all this. Utah is one of the top 10 worst places for new home buyers.
I just
first-time
saw
home
that.
buyers.
I just saw that the other day.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
They said on average, a first-time home buyer in Utah needs to have about 70 grand
Down.
in cash.
Down
put
payment, and then the average house was like $540,000 or something stupid.
And now garbage mortgages.
Yeah.
Last thing, just because I had to ask. Have you guys seen any of the stuff for Unreal Engine 5?
Oh yeah,
I've
I've
seen-
seen some videos.
Go ahead.
I don't even know what
I
this
just
is.
was gonna say seen some videos.
I saw a video, but I've heard controversy around the video that might be faked.
Is it the body cam one?
Yeah,
Oh, that game looks awesome.
but that's the thing is like I haven't.
So
I saw it and I was like, "This is so amazing."
It looks
and then all
real.
the stuff has come out that's like it might be fake, and I haven't had a chance to dive in though.
So Unreal Engine is a graphics engine for video games.
Basically, the platform they build the game on.
And so a lot of games have been using Unreal Engine 4, and they just announced Unreal Engine 5. I think it was like a year and a half ago, 2 years. But now they're actually showcasing games that are being developed using this new engine. It looks photorealistic.
Well, did you see the horror one?
No. So the one that I saw was a body cam footage where you're like a cop or an agent,
Uh-huh.
and your camera footage is here, and so you got your gun and stuff, but you're chasing down criminals and they're in like houses. But dude, it looks photorealistic. It looks like life. It is insane.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Hey, show me your hands. Show me your
Yeah.
hands." Yeah.
It's
That's
crazy,
almost
dude.
scary.
I'm excited because the
It'll be
minute you
cool.
can start doing that with VR, it's like my childhood dream.
Could you? I mean, it probably uses so much data that can
Processing.
Can you cloud that? Do you think you could cloud those games?
Clouding's not a problem at all.
Really?
Yeah, they'll build it out and have all the infrastructure, because you got to think, you're already, when you're playing online, you're sending signal all over the nation,
Right.
and so it's all the processing's being done. All you're doing is sending your coordinates in the
So
game.
really, it's going to
Okay.
be a big part of it's going to be internet speeds,
Yeah.
especially if you're
Right.
playing all those in the cloud. But yeah, I mean, well, from my quick searching here, a lot of them are talking about it being real. So
Dude, it's
it's
unreal.
wild.
See what I did there? Oh, it's unreal.
It's
unreal, dude. Anyway, all right, guys.
That note.
I'm calling it. I don't know how I should have kept a timer. I said it was gonna be short. I hope it's a little short. Maybe
I
not.
don't think it was short.
It's an hour and 14 minutes.
Hour 14. You didn't give me a heads up. Dang it.
Oh, so student. Sorry, I missed that message.
All right. Well, there you go. It's not a short one, so you got some extra. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you guys here next time.
Hashtag
Hashtag Unreal.
Yep.
unreal.
Unreal.
Peace.
Love
Ciao.
you guys.
Yeah.
Arrivederci.
Thanks for being part of this crowd.